Oh, hello. You just caught me editing our blog. I'm going to talk to you about how we've used mise en scene in our film. So firstly, I'm going to talk to you about costume. Now, the social group we are representing in our film is teenagers. So we've chosen the costume very carefully. For example, Mark wears brands that most teenagers wear, such as Hollister and Jack Wills, as well as wearing the latest fashion trends like chinos. Amy, however, we had her wear lots of dark colours, such as maroon and black, which these make her seem very sinister. As you know, she is of course domestically abusing Sam. And then the colours we had her mainly wear were maroon and black, as these kind of have quite dangerous and deathly connotations. Also, the leather jacket she wears in the third flashback makes her look quite edgy and also quite dangerous. So we've used makeup in our film, mainly just for Mark's bruising, and this was something that our audience were very critical about, as some said it didn't look very realistic and others said that it looked overdone. However, in the film we wanted to make it really clear to the audience that the bruise was there, even in things like the mid-shot where you couldn't really see his face that well. So yes, that was something they were really critical of, but we tried to make it clear. And then also lighting, this was something we found really hard, as we've said in lots of our vlogs. So we wanted to use a lot of natural lighting to start with, to make the shots that we've used low-key lighting in more, to emphasise it. So for example, in the hospital scene we've used lots of low-key lighting, as of course it's a very sad and sinister scene. And then also we've used a spotlight to make it almost seem like quite reflecting of the fact that he dies in the scene. And then also, again, it makes Meg look really sinister when she's standing, because you can see the shadows of the spotlight. And then framing was very important, as we needed to show the relationship between Sam and Amy. So for example, if Amy was more dominant in the shot, then it shows her power. So we've used that in lots of the shots when there are two shots. And then other framing we've used are in the final shot when Mark is sitting against the sofa. The sofa is very dark, so we kind of had quite close-ups, so that way that it makes the scene seem quite dark as well. And then when he's with his friends in college, we've had the two friends standing next to each other, and Mark is kind of on the outside of them, as you can see, because he's got his shoulder face towards the camera. So that kind of shows him as very isolated from them, and how he feels he can't talk to them about it. As in our research we found that was one of the main things of domestic violence, in that men often found it quite sort of scary to tell people, because of course it made them seem quite vulnerable. Another element of mise en scene is the props that we've used. So again, as I said, we were representing teenagers as our social group. The post-it note from his mum and also the ready meal kind of shows the way that he's a teenager, because he's still being looked after by his family and still living at home. Also, in that same scene, the prop of the knife when he is hitting the ready meal, that makes him seem very angry, and sort of hints to the audience. They start asking questions as to why he has all this sort of repressed anger. Also, in the second flashback, we have the flower on the table. So, in the first flashback, and that's the flashback where we see their sort of romance, and so that just signifies the romance, really. And then finally, the prop. It's not really a prop, but the sofa in the second flashback is the way they are sitting on it. Kind of, they have the half of the sofa there on either side of it to show, and this is the flashback that starts to show the barrier between them, and Amy becoming more abusive towards him. So that just shows the way that we start to see the divide as the audience. And yeah, so that's